Yeah.
When we have, I have the number for density and the number for volume. Do I just?
Yeah.
It's a big number.
Huh?
It's a big number.
It will be a big number when you cross multiply. It's okay. Anybody else have a question?
You do the same if you had the mass instead of the volume, right?
If you had the mass instead of the volume, you're going to cross multiply and then divide.
Higher density, it's same.
Huh?
Higher density, it's same.
Yes, higher density will sink.
My what? My what? BC. With that. Huh?
But now I got today, I had switched to that. So
You have a question for me?
they don't put our schedule. They don't put our schedule to something.
Yeah.
Do you cross multiply to look for the volume?
Do you have to what?
Cross multiply to looking for the volume.
Cross multiply and then you're going to divide. Because when you cross multiply, you'll have a number times b equals a number, and then you have to divide by the number that's with the b. What you got? Alright, so you got 7.8. So you did this. You have 7.86. Divided by 7.86. Divided by 7.86. You're the decimal number, pretty small. Gotcha. Alright. Okay.
What do I do if I got density of the mass?
You're gonna cross multiply density times B.
And then
You're gonna divide by the density. Word and then it's, yeah. Yeah, it's gonna be a small number, divide 2.4 by 7.86, you're gonna get a pretty small number, I mean, that's 40 something.
no,
If you have a question, just bring it here. I don't bite, I promise. Yep. No, you gotta find the densities of all of them, and then figure out how those be. That's math. That's law. You're gonna use the graph. Okay. I use math to find life. Okay? All right, are we ready to go over it?
I have one more question.
How about my group at the back? Are we coming?
Oh, yeah.
All right, let's take a look at what you've got. I've given you somewhere in the ballpark of 15 minutes to do that. All right, so let's see what you came up with.
No.
Yes. All right, let me just get a paper and I'll put the paper work on that. All right, those of you who changed seats, move back. For those of you who changed seats, move your behinds back where you belong. All right. So the first one should be pretty easy. Everybody back where we belong? All right. Mass over volume. Density is equal to 12.3 divided by 35.6. So we should all have gotten somewhere in the ballpark of 0.34.
Yeah.
Grams over milliliters. Now, there are more numbers on the calculator. I just rounded off. If you have more numbers, or you rounded to 0.3, or you rounded 0.34 up to 0.35, all of those answers are fine. Okay? Number 2, find the density. Because it says, what is the identity, right? See how I gave you a chart? You got to know the density in order to figure out what the element is. So the mass is 170 over 63. When you divide, you get somewhere around 2.7. Now, when you look at this, I gave you more than just 2.7, but which one is it closest to? It's closest to aluminum, so your answer is aluminum. Okay? Number 3, find the mass. I gave you the density, so you don't even need to use the table. All right, so density equals mass over volume. Several of you asked me, Ms. Wall, do we cross multiply? Yeah, we do, but if you plug in, density is 19.3. We don't know mass. Volume is 85.6. If you draw your X, what's nothing times M? It's M. So 19.3 times 85.6 is 1652. Now, several people said, that's a big number. It is. But remember, I make this stuff up. So when I make stuff up, do I necessarily make small numbers? No. I make up stuff all the time. That's a little weird. All right, so milliliters and milliliters will cancel each other out. You're left with grams. Number 4. What's the density of a sample of matter that has a mass of 15 grams and occupies a volume of 2.36? So density equals mass is 15.3. Volume is 2.36. 15.3 divided by 2.36, we get 6.48. So I asked you, was it going to sink or was it going to float? Well, what's its density? If that's the density of that, is it bigger or smaller? It's bigger. So is it going to the bottom or is it going to float? It's going to the bottom. It's going to sink. Okay? Number 5. What's the mass of an object? Density equals mass over volume. Density is 7.8. Mass we don't know. Volume is 14.36. What do I do to solve? Draw my X. What's nothing times M? It's nothing times M. M. So 7.8 times 14.6. 36. 112.0. Centimeters cubed. Grams is centimeters cubed. The centimeters cubed cancel. I'm left with grams. All right, number 6. Density equals mass over volume. My density is 7.86. My mass is 2.4. I need volume. Now, several people ask me what to do here. Cross multiply. What's nothing times 2.4? 2.4. What's 7.86 times V? 7.86 V. Now, is V by itself this time? No. So I have to divide to get 7.86 by itself. So what do I do to get 7.86 by itself? Which one of those numbers am I dividing by? 7.86. So I divide by 7.86. Now, when I punch that in the calculator, what number has to go in first?
2.4.
2.4, because it's on top. The number on top is divided by the number on the bottom. So 2.4 divides 7.86, and we get a decimal number. Mine came up with an exponent. This one's a really messed up number. So 3.4, if you get an E with a -4 on your calculator, it's correct. All right, what that means is scientific notation. It's this. It's a really itty-bitty number. I don't have anything weird like that on the test. I didn't realize I had anything itty-bitty like that on this. All right, number 7. Arrange these in order of increasing density. So what's the first thing we need to do? Find the densities. So 15 divided by 4 would be 3.75. All right, 25 divided by 6 is, okay, 30 divided by 12, and 35 divided by 15, okay? So increasing means what? So smallest to biggest, okay? So we're going from smallest to the biggest. All right, so who's my smallest? I heard it.
Object 2.
4.
I mean, object
Object
4.
4.
Object 4 is the smallest.
Oh.
Then 3, then,
1.
and last 2. Okay? If you see a picture of a graduated cylinder on the test and you had to arrange it in a cylinder, how would it look at this cylinder? Who would be at the top of the cylinder?
No, it'd be the smallest.
It would be the smallest at the top.
So
1 is not at the top. Remember, least dense is always at the top. Most dense is always at the bottom. So who's the least dense out of these? 4. So 4 would be at the top. And then you would start down in the same order. So 4 would be at the top. Then who?
3.
And then who?
1.
And who would be at the bottom? 2 would be at the bottom. Okay, it's in the same order. Smallest at the top, biggest at the bottom. All right, so number 8. Using the graph, who had a volume of 6 grams? So So if we flip it over and we find our mass, which is here, mass, 6 grams. All right, anytime you read a graph, you read up to the line and over. So 6, up to the line, and over gave us what?
6.
So our answer is 6. And I'll write milliliters because we didn't have a unit on the side. All right, so what's the mass that goes with 7 milliliters? So again, volume this time. 7 milliliters. Read over to the graph and read down, and we have 7. So we have 7 grams. So what would the density of the object be? Because this is a straight line graph, straight line, you can pick any point on this graph. Okay, any point on the graph. So pick any point. Where do you want to pick?
10.
Any of those you said are fine. If you pick the 10 here, go down 10, over is a 10. So density equals 10 over 10. If you said 5, 5, density equals 5 over 5. Person who said the N, 12, so 12 over 12. Okay, what do you get on any of those? You get 1. The only time you cannot do it that way is if the graph is not what? What's this graph? It's straight. The only time you cannot do that is when the graph is not straight. And we're going to talk about that in the next unit. Questions about anything that we've done for the test Monday? The test is pretty easy. Okay? I'm expecting some pretty high grades. All right. Find your notes. Label it motion. It's a whole new unit. The first 3 units we do in pretty small sections so that it's not a big bulk of material. So then hopefully we do well on the first 3 tests.
What'd you say?
That's the goal. Motion. Depends on how far we get today. We might, so you might want to keep it. You sound like who? Okay.
You said which one, the middle version?
Just say I need to go back and listen again.
I said which one, the middle version?
No. The one that go with Daisy. Yeah, baby.
It's just JB.
Maybe there's more than one Beyonce, and I'm not familiar with the second version.
Yeah, there's a middle version.
There is? Okay. I need to check that out.
He's in here.
Huh?
Him.
Okay. All right. I need to get out more. All right. So what is a frame of reference? I don't think I need that. All right. A frame of reference is essentially a stationary object or an object that appears to be stationary for the purpose of comparison. Okay, it's a stationary object or an object that appears to be stationary for the purpose of comparison. That was like,
Yeah.
You're killing the earth. She just lost her half lung a couple of days ago.
she lost her what?
Her lung a couple of days ago.
I had a plastic straw today, and
Um,
I know I had a plastic straw today after the mother from.
lots of her.
Okay, the other day there was sitting in the middle of the road, and I just wanted to go around.
Give a turtle. No.
Turtles fine food. I know people who
I
eat
want a
turtles.
fish. I want a fish.
All right,
Is that illegal?
to eat a turtle?
Yeah.
I mean,
No.
I made duck for
Or in some places.
I made duck.
Maybe.
I made dope.
What about alligators?
I didn't know it was go at first. I thought it was chicken. But I'm not gonna go with that. And then the octopus, it was like maybe octopus. And I didn't know what it was. And it's not. What? They're jerky.
Now, so a frame of reference is a stationary object or an object that appears to be stationary. Okay? Now, why do we need a frame of reference? I'm going to talk about how you decide one in just a second. Why do we need a frame of reference? Why are we going to talk about this for the next 15 to 20 minutes? All right? Because we're going to talk about motion, and we're going to learn to calculate speed, velocity, acceleration, and momentum. So we're going to do math for about 9 weeks, and then it's miraculously going to go away. But for about 9 weeks, we're heavy math. Okay? You're going to think you're getting a math credit, but you're not. All right? So why do we need a frame of reference? To determine if an object is moving. That's why we need a frame of reference. Most of you would tell me that I'm moving around the room right now.
Yeah.
All right?
But you really not.
I really am.
Oh.
But there has to be a frame of reference for you to tell me that I'm moving. So the question becomes, what is the frame of reference? What is the stationary object or the object that appears to be stationary for you to say, yes, I'm moving? The floor is a fabulous frame of reference. Okay? All right, the frame of reference can be the floor. It doesn't have to be the only frame of reference you can use.
So
The what?
you say no.
I can't hear you.
You say no, like because you say that.
No, it's not the only thing. What else could be used as a frame of reference here?
Shoulder.
The what?
Shoulder.
Well, I guess the ceiling could be, but most of us don't walk around looking up.
The table.
What's that? The lab counters. Yes, the lab counters are firmly attached to the wall. They're cemented to the counters and the walls and the floors. They're not going anywhere. So they're great frames of reference. What? The windows are part of the wall, so yes, they would be fine also. The what? Okay, we need to be a little more specific. The cabinets are fine. Now, the trees would be fine.
Book bag.
Okay? The book bags, I would probably answer, they're okay.
Everyone else said, yeah, okay.
The book bags are okay.
Because they're not like in the ground.
They're not
They
attached.
can move.
Okay? They can be moved. All right? Frame of references are better if they're more permanent fixtures as opposed to more movable fixtures. So I will give you an okay on that as opposed to a great answer. I'm not saying it's wrong, Anthony, okay? Because they're not moving at the moment. They're clearly just sitting there, so they're fine, okay? But it's not permanently attached, so it's not the best frame of reference, okay?
Oh, wow.
Wow, thank you.
Now, if we have Like, don't write that. I don't even want to use that example at all. I'm not going to. All right, so if we're outside, and let's say, he looks terrible. We're at the bus stop in the morning, afternoon, doesn't matter where. All right, and the bus drives off.
You write this down?
Yeah. And we're going to abbreviate that frame of reference here after we do it there. We're going to capitalize it so that it doesn't look like the word for. All right. So if you're at the bus stop, whether you're sitting there waiting on the bus to pick you up in the morning or you're being dropped off in the afternoon and it's driving away, what things would tell you the bus is moving?
The sound.
Sure, the road, the trees.
Stop.
All right.
My eyes.
I don't want to upset Anthony again. Where? A little color.
This one.
Yeah.
If the class gives you a math credit, does that mean you only have to take 3 maths? Like personal finance. I know you get a math credit in that class.
You have to have, I think, 4 to graduate. So I'm not sure. You might only have to have 3 others plus personal finance. You'd have to ask your counselor.
You have to have math, 1 math, 2 math.
So if I took just a personal class, is that a personal finance?
I don't know what he
You
taught.
have to take math, not no.
Okay. So you said the roads
But you have to have the
and the trees. Now, I heard the sky and I heard something else, but I don't remember what it was. I got sidetracked. All right. The sky is a no.
Oh my God.
That's what I said. I hated to say that to
What
Anthony.
about the sound?
Okay, sound does not matter. Okay, we're going to talk about that down the road. Sound is energy. You can't see it, you can't feel it, you can't identify it other than it's a form of energy. Houses are good, the buildings are good. Okay, the buildings are fine. Okay,
No, it's not either.
all right. The reason I said no to the sky is you can't, if it's cloudless, can you see where it starts and ends? No, and the clouds move if they're clouds.
Stop
Okay.
that. You could stop that slash.
The sky, if it's completely blue and there are no clouds, you can't tell where it starts or ends. So you wouldn't be able to tell if anything is moving. All right, and if it has clouds, the clouds move.
Can
So
you
the
actually
sky
touch
is a
the
no.
sky?
Huh?
Can you actually touch the sky?
No.
So that's fake. What?
So I said you can't use the sky as a frame of reference. The answer is a no on that. What else could you see possibly at the bus stop that would work as a frame of reference? The sidewalk would be fine. There's something else that's obviously on the road that I was looking for that you could use.
The lines on the road.
Okay, the road's already there. The lines will be on the road.
The tree thingies.
We already got trees.
Oh, the light
Stop
poles.
sign.
The signs and poles were the things I were looking for.
Hey,
Okay?
no, they can't.
When's the last time you saw a stop sign move?
Tornado.
Oh my God. The sky moves too.
When's the last time we saw a tornado come through when you were looking at a stop sign? Hey, Miss Curry.
This is Mr. Pass, just want to make sure you met Mr. Pass. This is the dynamic teacher, Mrs. Ball. She's our chemistry guru and physical science. And
Mr. Pass?
she's the assistant principal. And of course you met.
I did.
So we're gonna
Welcome aboard.
I was really wondering.
All right. But generally speaking, stop signs would be fair game for a frame of reference. We don't have a ton of tornadoes that come through and rip the signs out of the road, okay? They'd be fine. Stop lights or the stop sign, the poles would be fine. Okay, all of those things would be fine. All right? We're going to assume that we're not going to be in a perpetual hurricane or perpetual tornado? Yes, ma'am.
It's not on this topic, but, is Mr. Welch really?
Yeah, today's his last day.
Yes.
The
The
white
white
is-
man.
Where he going to school?
He's going to North Rowan Elementary. His son is really young, and he really wanted to be in elementary school or middle school because he didn't want to do all that school activities. So that's why he wanted to be somewhere else.
Yeah, he's tired of being He's always becoming at 5 o'clock. I know he's tired of saying that. Right, bro.
So, but he did want to be at a younger grade level, not the high school because of the son.
But why I'm getting to go
He was moved from middle school, so I'm assuming he didn't have an option of a school in the system. I don't know. But,
He lives in the neighborhood.
so, all right. So let's say, all right. All right. We're on the bus. All right, and we roll a ball down the aisle. All right. Anthony and Esteban.
I wanted to be more.
Okay, we'll have a soccer ball that we're not supposed to be playing with on the bus. All right, we're rolling it back and forth on the aisle. All right, what could be my frame of reference here?
The people, no, the seats.
Okay,
Yeah.
this time because the focus is completely on the bus.
The window.
Okay,
The
the
wall,
seats,
the
The
roof,
back of the
the roof,
bus.
the floor. All right, again, if you're focused on the floor, watching the ball, are you going to see the roof?
Yeah. Like,
Now, I would never use the people or their feet because what are they going to do?
Ow.
They're going to move. So never use the people. Okay? Now, the steering wheel is going to be doing what if the bus is moving? Okay?
I stopped
Now,
myself.
okay? Hopefully the door is closed, so I'll accept the walls of the door of the bus.
That's not the windows.
All right? The windows are attached to the wall door sides of the bus.
That's it.
Okay? Those are going to be your primary things that are going to fit the frame of reference for the bus.
Right.
Okay, but it's essentially the things that are attached to the bus. All right? Can you look outside of the bus if you're focused on the ball that's inside of the bus? No. Okay, that's the point of that question. Okay? If you see a mosquito, kill it. If it's way over there, you don't have to leap the counter. But if it comes back within range and you can kill it, feel free.
If it bite me, I'm still in school.
That's
Good luck with that one. Okay? Now, do you have the general idea of how frame of reference works?
Yeah.
Okay, we're going to try a couple practice questions, then we're going to talk about distance and displacement.
But I got it, brother.
It was right on you. The mosquito was just right on you.
What's it probably bitten? I'm still scratching it. The wasps thing I got in anymore. Yeah, I went to let the dog out. It was in the blinds. We have to slide the curtain blinds back to the door. And
It wasn't
all
like
the wasps there. So many. I was not interested.
Of course I did.
And she got, her daughter tried to school, but I don't care.
All right. So in the A through G examples. Yep. The first preference is not on.
Okay.
All right, so in the frame of reference examples that I have here, I want you to figure out what the frame of reference is in each of the A through G examples, okay? So read the example to figure out what it is, not woo. Read the example, figure out what it is.
The sun rises over the horizon and who? The trees. The tall
The
trees.
ground.
Could be,
All right.
it could be.
Write it beside it.
You can write it beside it. It's fine.
You better say it.
Write it down.
Let me write. It was. No, it's but two.
Good. Just like, oh. with you. That's fine.
If we don't know what's behind the object, can we just see the background?
Which one are we talking about?
D,
What's D say?
2 express subway trains traveling at the same speed of parallel trains.
Okay.
Oh, wait, I didn't read the rest.
What's wrong? Just thinking. The passenger on the train.
They're all rolling down. The seats and the
Door,
ball.
door, 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 do you close?
Answer the question. Stop saying it.
I'm already done.
You answered all A through G.
Yes.
If I walk over there, their answer.
Shane ain't right in here.
You a snitch. I'm gonna make sure I don't rob my life on
She don't even make sense.
Yeah,
What?
If you all the way up in the air, you can't see no train moving.
Yes, he
Yeah,
can.
Yes, you
what?
can. Not, well, I don't
Yes,
know.
he can.
All the way up in the air.
Yeah.
Cause the clouds, you know.
Right, because it's like kind
Okay,
of
see.
close, right?
I'm saying all the way up in the air, like where like
What day is the 27th?
and then planes travel.
So why-
wide.
So why is it dark when you go up in the sky?
That Monday or Tuesday?
Because it's
That's the day they're doing class
That's a different
meetings.
type of,
They doing what?
you know,
Class meetings on Tuesday.
they got the biggest one. And
Ninth grade is 8:30, 10th grade is 9:15, 11th grade is at 10 a.m., 12th grade is at 10:45.
Pictures.
Oh.
No, class meetings.
Oh, I'm gonna make sure I come. I always want to talk about grades, like, people.
Like the concert next thing you know, and then you see a flag. Most Can we say something like a park?
Yeah.
Wait, what? G really doesn't make sense. But I will put the road.
The road, you're in an airplane,
A road is signifying that
but
it's.
you're not gonna be able to see the windows, you can't see all the people.
Yes, you can, unless you got like the windows. If you're in
The windows are just like that, they're not like that. You're not gonna be able to
I never would have thought.
Alright, we have a chance to try them all?
But so, G don't make sense.
G don't make sense. Let me grab one. See what G is. Said G don't make sense.
And I have a good argument too.
Okay, I can't wait to hear this.
I agree with you.
Okay.
The ground and like trees.
I'm gonna wait to hear this one. Alright, so the sun rises over the horizon. What'd you say?
Tree on tree.
You could have said the horizon, but trees are fine. Horizon is fine, trees are fine. Anybody say buildings? That's fine.
Yeah, the sun's moving.
The sun is technically moving because it's, I'm not gonna say it is. The earth is rotating around the sun, so then I will take the sun. Because if you don't know earth science, I will take it. I will take it.
Earth is moving around the sun, yeah, don't cough.
Okay.
I will take
Yeah.
it. Don't call names. Okay.
You just got on your head.
Alright, a bus moves past people standing on the sidewalk. Sidewalk is fine. Alright, that's the one we just did as an example. So if you had anything else like the road, the trees, the buildings, the stop signs, the poles, all of those are fine. Alright, a passenger on a train sees the ball roll down the aisle. The aisle is fine, the seats are fine, the sides of the bus are fine. Okay, those are the two we just did. Alright, so 2 express subway trains traveling at the same speed on parallel tracks whiz past passengers waiting on a platform of a local station.
The station.
The station, the platform. Did everybody say the tracks?
Yeah.
That would be fine too.
I said
The,
just keep going. Next question.
is the tunnel in the question? I missed the tunnel.
Because I was thinking about like the underground.
Oh, okay, so if there was a tunnel there, that would be fine. Okay, we'll just assume that had a tunnel. Alright, E, a passenger on one of the subway trains looks out the window and sees another train standing still.
The train.
Which train?
The one
train
that's
standing
still.
Okay, the train that's standing still is fine. The tracks are fine. The one window.
The window on the train standing still.
If you said the train standing still or the tracks, those two are fine. I'm not crazy about the window exit.
Yeah.
I didn't put that, I put a train.
Try it. Now, I'm not even saying you can't say that there were some trees and some buildings around it. You could have said perhaps there was a platform somewhere. I don't know, but the window is up. A person standing near a railroad track sees a train pass by. Then she notices an airplane fly overhead in the same direction as the train, but at a much faster speed. The ground, the railroad tracks, what could be attached to the ground where she's standing?
Platform.
Sure, there could be a platform, there could be a building, there could be a stop sign for all we know. There could be a sign attached to the ground. Alright, a person in the airplane looks down and sees the train moving backward.
That don't make sense because they all over there trying to
The road.
no train.
Has anybody flown?
Yes.
Yes.
Have y'all ever looked out of the window of an airplane?
No.
Yep.
Yes.
Oh, you never looked out? Okay, you might have an aisle seat that gets you out. I mean, a window seat that gets you out.
I have.
Because I hear now they charge more for the window seats versus.
All you really see is loud.
You come in for a landing. If you look out the window,
Oh,
you
you talking
can
about-
see
But no,
stuff.
it's not saying that you're landing. It's never saying where you're at.
I didn't say we were 50,000 feet either.
But it's not saying you're at.
So,
If it's a clear day, you can't see stuff.
No, because planes go.
You didn't say it was a clear day. You didn't say it was a
From
clear
the
day.
International Space Station, they can see the Great Wall of China.
That's
So you're telling me that we can't see a road? We can't see a football stadium from the back of an airplane?
No.
I'm telling you, you can.
I didn't flown, so.
You didn't say it was a clear day. It could have been rain on this day.
You can see.
It could have been storming, thunder, and lightning.
You can see stuff from an airplane.
Planes keep. You're up here. You see more.
I'm telling you, you can. So if any of you put a road or a building, okay, trees, railroad tracks, any of those things are fine. You can see that stuff. You can see the Panther Stadium from the air when you come in to land in Charlotte.
They don't want to see that trailer.
I'm just telling you, you can see it.
the Broncos trash.
No, they not. They show some photos.
Where's your team? Which team do you like? Let's see. Okay, when you fly into Denver, you can see their stadium too.
Period.
Now.
And when you fly into Lexington, you see that thing too.
Yeah.
You come here to see that.
You can see a lot of trees at the fire
I'm
station.
trying to say because they don't play football.
No, I'm just saying. I said it's small.
All right, we're gonna talk about motion.
You keep this?
Yep, that's y'all's. That's what I holes punched in.
Oh.
This will be on the next test. There will be a question that asks about frame of reference. All right. So motion is a change in distance over a change
Dang it, Caleb. You ready?
in time.
Don't let them go on the outside. Don't let them go on the outside.
But ain't nobody worried.
Yeah.
All right.
He was like,
So we got a change in distance, and we have to change in time. So we're changing in distance, and we're changing in time.
You black.
The dude that came here.
What's she talking about the dude that came in here?
That dude that just came in here, the new principal.
He's not the coach. That's the assistant principal. The new assistant principal, Mr. Pass.
I hope he's nice. So what about the other one from last year? What's his
I
name?
don't think he's a
Right.
pastor.
Mr. Mumford.
Look
Oh,
at
yeah,
him.
they need to bring him back.
In the middle school,
No.
right?
Yeah, he's in the middle school.
They do need to bring him back.
He look like he don't play games. He look like he.
It's a bad, like,
Yeah, I don't know how it's spelled. I think it's PASS, but I can't swear to that.
It was first I don't want to have it.
All right, I don't want any of that. Okay, everybody have it?
Yeah.
Got it. So,
We got it right there.
Can I just take a picture?
let me see what I want, because I'm going to shorten some of this.
It's not that much to write.
It's not.
It's not, but who wants to?
I'm better
You do because you want to do well.
Oh, dang.
I don't think in our time we'd be able to write that.
Y'all get probably tired of the.
There you go. I took that out.
What?
All right, you need the rest.
Oh,
Stop whining.
I don't want it.
I'm not surprised.
Okay, okay.
All right, so distance means everything you had to go through on the way. All the mileage that you add up on the car's odometer to get from the start point to the end point. Now, we have to be able to calculate distance and displacement. Distance and displacement are not the same thing. Okay? They're not one and the same. They're calculated differently and they mean different things. Now, the key word here in distance is everything and from the start to the end. All right, so everything from start to end. So those of you who know anything about cars and the odometer, you look at your car's odometer, it ticks up every mile your car drives. Okay? Doesn't take anything off the odometer. So if you go to buy a car and you look at the mileage, lower mileage cars are worth more than higher mileage cars. The more miles that are on it, the less you should have to pay. Elena, put your phone up.
That's a write-up, you're going to jail.
Leave a little alone.
I'm going to jail. Fine. You went to jail.
My dad can do this.
You the snitch.
Sorry.
She sounds hard.
Wait, I thought we was done.
That's just distance.
One more time.
Yeah. Dude, I'm not quitting at 13 minutes before the bell. Ever.
Oh.
Everybody's calling that's on the right.
Do chickens fly?
Yes, they do.
For real?
Yes.
Oh.
They do. They fly.
Chickens.
They roost in trees at night.
Good one.
I'm not playing. I didn't know it either till I got married and my father-in-law had chickens.
Are you
I am. When I went to the house and I was like, why are the chickens in the trees? And he's like, they fly up there at night.
She lying.
I'm not lying.
Do chickens really?
They really do. They fly.
Slow.
I mean, they don't fly long distances, but they can fly and get up in trees and things. They fly over fences and stuff. I mean, they're not going to take off for Florida. I mean, they don't migrate.
Oh my God. I feel.
Where's my displacement definition? Oh, there it is.
It ain't nobody's.
All right. There's displacement. All right. Displacement is the difference. Okay? Displacement is the difference between the starting point and the end point, regardless of what happened in between. Okay? Displacement is the difference between the starting point and the end point, regardless of what happened in between.
Yeah, I just want to see.
No, I just heard somebody say, let's go.
Let's go.
Like, boy, no, this ain't no field.
Yes, it is.
Hey,
We're not done yet,
on the
Caleb.
outside.
Back up. We're going to do an example or two.
Man.
You playing his books up.
We got time. I will give you time to pack up. So you've got it all packed up to run out the door at 3:30.
Like, you think I'm gonna get ready, and not let him get on the outside.
When you go out there and don't let them get on the outside.
You don't play ball.
Nah, yeah.
All right. Everybody got it?
No.
Got it.
Go win, cause
Man, they gonna wait, I want to go on the outside.
Bruh.
Somebody should do a
Bro, he thinks I'm playing. If you let him get on the outside, it's over.
Who?
Nobody
They
worried.
boys big.
They ain't big, they just got the one boy.
Oh, ain't nobody worried.
Somebody gonna have to shot him.
Yeah, I wouldn't. It ain't gonna be like the volleyball team.
why you trying to be funny?
But we were hype it up and everybody.
No, y'all
They got
can't.
smacked.
But if
Okay.
you lose, it's too much.
They got.
They came and everybody was down with themselves.
No, I won.
See, I can see it making them.
Wait, who's that going
See how many stuff like
Oh, bro.
that.
They was trash.
No, they was not
They
trash.
were trash. They were trash.
They were trash.
They were doing it.
Y'all stop.
Oh, bro.
You don't talk about your school like that.
How many games y'all won last year?
If they pass one,
You don't know.
All right.
It's like,
no, yeah.
Moving on. So let's say, for an example, that this morning I started out in Tyro. Okay? I drove 11 miles to LSHS. Okay?
Speaking of that, you hear about that little thing with the school board meeting?
Yeah. Not talking about it. All right? I need to have my glasses adjusted this afternoon, so I'm going to drive 1 mile to the eye place. All right? I need to drive and pick up my husband's registration out of the truck because he forgot. So I'm going to drive 1 mile and get the registration because I'm nice that way, even though I want to go home and take a nap. All right? Then I need to go to the bank.
Dang.
I know.
You gotta go everywhere, dang.
I know. You couldn't think you could do this on a different day? All right. Once I get that, I'm going. Bank is across the street, so I'll be roughly at the school. All right. And then I'm driving 11 miles back home to Tyro. Okay. So I'm just making a giant circle.
Is this?
Okay. So, how is my distance and my displacement different? So, if I want distance, the definition said to do what? Andrew, put your phone up.
It just shook my Google.
You did what?
It shook. I felt it on my phone.
How do y'all be caught, like?
But they be having like right here.
No, it shook. Like, it vibrated.
I don't never
It
talk.
vibrated.
okay.
That's good. B and G and leave it put up. So, how do we find distance? Distance was defined as what? Everything. Okay? Distance is everything. So what math operation are we going to have to perform if it's everything?
Everything.
Are we going to add, subtract, multiply, divide? Add. Okay? So to calculate my distance, I have to add.
35.
So we're going to say 11 plus 1 plus 1 plus 1 plus 11. So today I will drive how many miles? 25. 25 miles. Now, displacement is completely different. That's right. Displacement is the difference in where I start and stop. Okay? So where did I start at?
Tyro.
Started in Tyro.
Where did you stop it?
So what is my displacement if I start in Tyro and I stop in Tyro?
It's Tyro and Lakeside.
It's in
Nothing.
West Davidson.
Zero.
Say it, Caleb.
Zero.
It is 0.
Off the dome.
I started in the same place I stopped in, so my displacement is 0 miles. I didn't go anywhere today. I left West Davidson. I'm going back to West Davidson.
So I'm guessing if you went
South
like
Davidson.
Tyro or something.
I'm not going there.
If you went Tyro and then came with the Winston, would still be zero.
No, if I start in Tyro and I finish the day in Winston, my displacement will be different.
Would it be?
Okay? So if you go home tonight from where you started this morning, your displacement is 0. But if you go stay tonight at a friend's house, your displacement will not be 0 either. Okay? So what? Yes, correct. It'd be the difference between your house and where you stopped with. Okay? Now, you don't have any homework other than to do what? Study for the test if you feel you need it. If you have a calculator, put it in my tub, please. You still have 5 minutes. Once you put up your calculator, put your butt in the chair.
Elena, come here.
It's on density, area, volume, units.
We gotta show you.
What we did today is not on the test. No frame of reference, no distance or displacement.
This thing ain't have one.
Yeah, some of them don't. I've tried to round up lids. I need to ask Mr. Butts again and see if he's got any spares.
Ain't nobody looking.
No, I didn't. Yes, she did. What'd I say?
But she didn't.
Nobody was supposed to know.
Oh, you did.